Okay. Oh yeah. All right. Wait, make sure the volume. Volume's down. Okay. Okay. Done. Okay. We are off. And we are back. Welcome to the channel where we talk about everything US markets, US headlines, and we make it fun. Not only do we talk about the US markets and the US headlines, but we go into the, we go behind the curtain and we talk about the different companies and how to break down the different companies. We go into indicators, we go into chart patterns. We're also going to go into some of the earnings, some of the profits, revenues, incomes, things like that, and going to go behind the scenes to look at the brief part about how to analyze and break down the company, look at some of their losses, look at some of their profits and gains, and also see to watch how the market goes with the different forecasts with the indicators and things like that. So we're going to make it fun. We're going to have some good times. And if there is a ticker or a question that you have, feel free to just drop it in the comments or send me a WhatsApp. That's fine too. That's my WhatsApp number. If you want to send me a WhatsApp, good to go. Buzz, hello, welcome. I love that name, Buzz, by the way. So here we go. My name is James. I'm from the US. I'm from the Midwest, actually. And in the Midwest, there's not a whole lot going on with the markets, and there's not a whole lot going on there at all, actually. But I had a love for numbers and a love for sports, and I took that love for numbers and I took it into engineering. And so when I was in engineering, I had an affinity for some of the tech sector, some of the healthcare sector and stuff like that. So that infinity with sports and enjoyment of health. Well, I took that and my understanding of numbers and markets, not markets, but understanding of numbers and graphs and charts and how to look at different pieces of data and make sense of it. I took that into looking at the markets. So that's a little bit about my backstory. Welcome to the channel. If you have a certain sector, certain area, Jim Som, hello, greetings and welcome. Lucas, welcome back. Done. So let's get started. If you have a story that you'd like to tell or some of the about some of the sectors that you enjoy or why you enjoy them, feel free to drop it in the comments. We'd also like to hear from you. Just to summarize, for this stream, a couple things we'll talk about is total energies, how the long time no see. Yes, Jim Sum. Be sure though, it's gonna be fun, okay? And let's see, we've got some headlines that I think you might be interested in. Total energies, the White House is gonna kill a wind project. And instead, they're going to put that money towards liquid natural gas and conventional oil. We'll talk about that. And another one we'll talk about is the big one. Musk is always in the headlines. My God, Tesla. It's like you don't go a day without hearing about Musk or Tesla or SpaceX or something. So we got Musk. He's doing the TerraFab project. That's the joint venture with Jim Sum. Thank you for the likes. I really do appreciate that. Good stuff. I'm no algorithm expert, but I've heard that likes and shares and comments and all that stuff helps with the algorithm to put the message out there. So thank you very much. But yeah, TerraFab is the joint venture with Tesla, SpaceX, and XAI to consolidate all the stages of semiconductor production and put them under one roof. It's going to be big. We're going to talk about that. Also, for example, another one we'll talk about is, with all the escalation, de-escalation going on in the Middle East, we'll talk about how gold just finally snapped its 9-day losing streak, and actually bullion rose as much as 1.7% yesterday. So if you're a gold or a silver bug, we've got something for you as well. And we'll show you how that little 1-day change also shifts things with the mining stocks as well. Erica, welcome, greetings. Let's see. Alvin, let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Do you have a question or a comment? Let me ask. Dun, 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 bum, bum, bum. If you have a, for example, if you have a question about a publicly traded ticker, just drop it in the comments. For example, if you have a company or a ticker that you want me to look up, just drop it there, Alvin. And yes, Erica, greetings. Eric Thompson, welcome. Ash, hello. Everything U.S. markets and U.S. headlines. If you have a U.S. publicly traded company and you want me to look up, just drop a ticker in the comments there. Like I said, we'll talk about gold and silver, how they just had a little bit of a small rebound yesterday, and we'll talk about how that affected the mining stocks as well. And also another one we'll talk about is Amazon. Amazon's in the news for several reasons. And for example, there's Zoox. It's debuting the robo-taxis in Austin, Miami later this year. Also, Amazon's they just acquired a humanoid robot maker called Fauna Robotics. We'll talk about them as well. So Amazon's got a couple different stories going on. Also, there's the headline with ARM. ARM is going to start selling its own chips, and it's eyeing a sales goal of 15 billion. They used to just license technology to the semiconductor makers, but now they're going to make their own chips. Ryan, greetings. Hello. Also, there's the headline about SpaceX aiming to file for IPO as soon as this week. We'll update you about that. And also, there's a little, because of the, is the war going to escalate, de-escalate? Well, yesterday there was some de-escalation in the war. So with that, oil prices just dropped a little bit. We'll talk about that as well. User 5469, greetings and hello. Stephen Baker, greetings. Graham Bickert, hello. Ian, welcome to the show. We'll also talk about Meta, because Meta is going to have to pay $375 million for violating New Mexico's law about child exploitation, according to the jury. And let's see, another one. Also, Corning, as of March 2026, Corning shares have rallied 60% to date and over 20% in the last year. Let's see. Simus, hello to you too. Let's see. Alvin, a question. Do you have a question about a U.S. ticker? I'm not quite sure what the question is there. Yeah. Start criticizing capitalism. Grow Maloney, start criticizing capitalism. Oh yes, a sense of humor is always appreciated. Greetings, guys, and welcome to the channel. Hello to everyone. Let's see, yeah. Welcome, CD19, hello. And so also another thing with Meta, they're also in the headlines because they're putting a big bet with some of their top leaders with stock options as pressure builds to catch up in the AI race. So Meta is trying to not only retain but capture more talent and wants to speed up the progress with other AI companies such as OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. Meta stock is down 4%, so is Microsoft's, but Alphabet has jumped up 73%. They're trying to catch up. Let's see. Jeremy, hello to you too as well. Greetings. Everything U.S. markets and U.S. headlines here. This is an educational channel, not a sales channel, so everyone can breathe and relax. But yeah, if you do have a question or something that you'd like to ask about, you can either drop it in the comments or you can send me a WhatsApp. That's fine either way, whichever is comfortable for you. That's my WhatsApp there behind me. And we're going to be breaking down these companies on TradingView coming up. Let's see. Zebulon, hello. And yeah, Jordan, greetings and welcome. And also, Google is also adding, let's see, right here, yeah. Google is also, an update on Google, they're adding a partnership with Agile Robots, growing in their AI robotics footprint as well. So there's a lot in this stream coming up, and I welcome all of you to it. And again, like I said, if you have questions, comments, etc., either put them there in the comment section, or you can send me a message directly on the WhatsApp. But here we go. All right. So, for example, the first one we have is Total Energies, White House to pay Total Energies. Let me bring that one up for you. White House to pay Total Energies right here. Yeah. Here we go. If you're watching from home, this is on TradingView Gutters. Greeting, hello, welcome. The White House is going to, if you see the article right behind me, the White House is going to kill Total Energy's $1 billion wind farm because they said it's, basically they condemned it as being too costly. Yeah, and what they're going to do is, to summarize here again, this is not a script, these are my notes, and I put copious amounts of time into this. They condemned it as being costly, with the French energy giant's investment to be diverted into U.S. Liquid natural gas production instead of, and the Department of the Interior made a landmark agreement with them. They're going to reimburse them dollar for dollar up to the amount they paid in lease purchases for offshore wind. Okay, and it will stop wind developments in New York and Carolina and invest instead in the development of 4 trains at Rio Grande LNG plant in Texas, as well as upstream conventional oil in the U.S. Gulf and shale gas production. Now, again, with what's going on in Iran, Jonah, hello. With what's going on in Iran, this makes the U.S. the largest exporter of liquefied natural gas in the world. So it's even more critical supplier for the Asia and the Europe regions. Andrew, greetings. So let's break them down. Let's go over here to Total Energies. Again, if you're watching from home, this is on TradingView. Here we go. Total Energies right here. Okay. For example, as we break this down, I'm going to introduce you to some of the indicators and some of the chart patterns and things as we go. But I'm going to go through this a little bit quickly. If you have more in-depth questions about it, just feel free to send me a message. But right here, the first thing I'll talk about is the relative strength index. Relative strength index is this down here. And you're looking at basically the basic parts. Here's the overbought, here's the oversold. And then in here in the middle, this is what you might call the neutral area, thereabouts, between 45, 55, 40, and 60, thereabouts. And when it's neutral, you basically see a flat line in the chart. Otherwise, for example, why do they say over 70? Because when it's over 70, you're actually thinking about the market's going to correct and come down. And when it's under 30, you're going to be thinking about the market correcting and coming back up. Now, this is just a guide. It's not a sure thing. It is just a guide because look here, as you can see right behind me, Total Energies is way overbought for a long time and it's still not correcting yet. Yeah, again, guys, this is an educational channel. If you have a question about a ticker or a company that you'd like me to analyze, just drop it in the comments. Yes. So right now, for example, Total Energies is sitting here. It got over here at as high as 85 right here, and then right here, bang, it was sitting here at 73 right now. Okay. Okay, and then right here, let's go. As you can see, the price chart here is kind of reflecting that. Right now, it's been going up nothing like a hockey stick, right? It's been like a hockey stick here lately, and you can see, ever since about, what is this, January 7th, it's been going straight up basically. And you can see how the RSI reflects the price chart with not only the corrections right here and right here. So you see that right down there. And then also, let me show you this. Another correlation you can make is right here. You'll see when there's more price action, you see down here in the trade volume bars, there's a lot more trading going on when there's more price action. Thunderclap, hello, greetings as well. Yes, here we go. And then let's take it over here. Let me see if I can give you some quick ones right here. I want to give you more of a neutral pattern right here. Yeah, so for example, to give you an idea, here's your a little bit of consolidation continuation right here. If you can see that right there in the price chart, and look how it reflects right down here in the RSI. Stays very neutral right there in the RSI area, so it reflects the same. Thunderclap, I'm on the 1 day. Yes. Again, you can use other time frames, and I encourage you to do that, because in different time frames you'll see different chart patterns show up. So again, and you can compare those, how they show up in one versus how they show up in another. So yeah, good question. And then, for example, there's that. And then also, just to move on a little bit here quickly, you'll see another one I'll introduce you to is the moving average convergence divergence. Jonah, hello. User 972, greetings, David, hello. That's the MACD. Basically, to put very, very briefly and simplistically, the MACD, the blue line, when it crosses the orange indicator line going up, that's going to reflect that you're going to have the price chart action going up. Now, when the blue line crosses, the MACD line crosses the orange indicator line going down, you're going to have a downward price movement. Okay, that's very simplistic, and obviously it's a lot more complicated than that. If you do have further questions on that, you can always contact me, but that's just a brief introduction to the MACD and the RSI. Now let's go over here in the price in the charts to see if we can find some quick patterns here. And again, if you change the timing, if you change things, yes, again, adjust things a little bit, and you'll see them pop out right here. For example, here's what we call basically, here's your reverse head, here's your left shoulder, here's your right shoulder, and then there's your neckline, and here it goes, bang, it pops out right there. So that's your reverse head and shoulder, and it breaks out and goes up. They don't always break out, so be aware of that. There are many chart patterns that just, they're chart patterns, but they don't actually have the breakout. Let's see. Again, right here, this is what we call basically consolidation. You can kind of see the right there, the hidden support, the hidden ceiling. You can call it the resistance, the support, continuation, whatever you want to call it. It all means the same. And then if we adjust this down and then put this right back up. Okay. So for example, and sometimes you have to be a bit creative with your eyes on this, because sometimes when you have the head and shoulders, the shoulder lines don't always come up straight. They're very, very crooked. Hank Van Alphen, greetings, hello, and welcome. And dun, dun, dun. So here you go. Right here. Here's your reverse head. Here's your left shoulder. Here's your right shoulder. You can see how this is kind of a diagonal neckline. And then if we change the time, you can see how, yes, right there, it does indeed break out and go up a bit right there. Dun, dun, dun. Double tops and double bottoms, you'll have the head and shoulders breaks out and goes down. The reverse head and shoulders breaks out and goes up. Okay, just to give you a couple things there. And that's total energies. Again, just to introduce you, because they're being paid to stop their wind farm basically. And let me okay, now let's go to some of the volume. Right now is at 1.38 million. Market cap is at 1.65 billion. And if we go here to earnings, okay, again, if you're watching from home, this is on TradingView. TradingView, there's quarterly and there's annually for earnings. Both are important, but a lot of times the annual is oftentimes used more based on your strategy. So quarterly, again, looking behind me, you see there's the blue bars and there's the gray bars. The blue bars is what was actually recorded in the earnings. The gray bars is actually what was expected by Wall Street. Why does that matter? Well, when you earn more than what Wall Street was expecting, that makes you look stronger, makes you look better as a company, more vitality. And if you don't earn as much as the company as Wall Street was expecting, that does in some ways make you look weaker. But that's not the only thing to be at. That's not the only piece of information. There's many other pieces of information. That's just one of them. So Q4, as you can see, just barely beat expectations. Q3 just missed it, and Q2 also missed it. But that's how to do it for the year 2025 as a year. Yeah, as a year, just missed earnings expectations. 2024 beat expectations. 2023 actually missed it. So when we look at these earnings, let's see how they compare with some of the profits, revenues, and incomes. Okay, so go here to statements. Now this is interesting because even though, let's see, that's why I say, go back here to earnings, 2024, they had a positive earnings and they beat the earnings expectations. But even though 2024 was good for earnings, look at 2024, it was all in the red. So the revenue, the profit, income, all of it was red. In fact, the last 3 years, they were all in the red revenue, profit, and income all 3 years, 2023, 2024, and 2025. The only thing that was good was the net income in 2023, okay? So just take that into account. Like I said, just because the earnings are great doesn't mean that you're gonna have good revenue or income. So that's Total Energies. Some people ask about the forecast. I don't put much, much strength into the forecast. I think it's just for entertainment, basically. But if you want the forecast, there it is. That's where you find it. But again, mainly it's for entertainment. So that's Total Energies. Another one that we need to talk about is, for example, the story with Musk right now. He's got a really cool project coming out called TerraFab. This is, TerraFab. It's a joint venture between Tesla, SpaceX, and XAI, and it's designed to consolidate every stage of semiconductor production under one roof, including chip design, fabrication, memory production, packaging, and TerraFab will be built on the north campus of the Giga Texas in a building planned to dwarf that of Giga Texas, which is already one of the biggest buildings on Earth, and the initial costs are in the $20 billion to $25 billion range. And check this, Musk says that he notes that Tesla's capital expenditures for 2026 did not include TerraFab's cost. And this is interesting timing because SpaceX is talking about IPOing this spring. And in fact, there was a new headline about that, how SpaceX might even IPO as early as this week. So we will keep you up to date on that. Everything is happening pretty fast right now. So Musk called TerraFab the most epic chip building exercise in history by far. And he said he's basically doing it because TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor, and Samsung aren't making chips fast enough for his AI and robotic needs. And TerraFab targets two types of chips, basically. Greetings, welcome. There's the chips for the self-driving systems and humanoid robots and robotaxis. And then there's the higher power, variant hardened ones for the space environment, for like satellites and data centers and XAI. And for example, the capacity for 10 million robots per year is what they would require for 20 million chips. So 20 million chips would be needed for 10 million robots a year. And just that is already six times Tesla's current chip demand. Interesting, right? So that's I don't know. If you like that headline, here's what I want you to do. Dun dun dun. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, if you're enjoying so far, if this information is helping you, put a smiley face in the comments, all right? Keep it fun. Let's keep going, all right? And let me know if you're enjoying it. So there we go. There's Musk, there's Tesla, and they're pairing it up with SpaceX and XAI. And remember, the headline about SpaceX, they might even file for the IPO this week. So we'll keep you up on that. Now, having said that, since we're talking about Tesla, let's go here. Right here. Let's take a look at what Tesla's doing. Okay, let me adjust this right here. Okay, okay. And right now, first thing I see is going down here to relative strength index, the RSI. Bang, it's right here, sitting at 41, 42. And again, that's pretty neutral. And you'll see that also reflected here in the, it's been pretty neutral here for a little while, ever since about February 6th to now, it's March 23rd. And you'll see that with very slight difference in the price chart as well. If you see right here, you see that in the price chart. Basically, you have this piece right here where there's also an invisible ceiling, an invisible floor. The same thing down here at the RSI. It's actually just bouncing up and down like a ping pong ball, right? And again, so there's that correlation. Also, another correlation you'll see is with the MACD. When it's consolidating like that in the MACD, you'll see very parallel lines right there in the MACD. Now, let's see, let's take a look at another one. Let's go up here to the price chart a little bit. And you're asking, if you want to know, again, if you want to learn about some chart patterns, here's one that just jumps out. Here's your head, Here's your left shoulder, here's your right shoulder. Again, this is your neckline. What does the neckline tell you? Well, the neckline is where the breakout happens. So again, some of these chart patterns don't break out, but if they do, when it, for example, the head and shoulders is the chart pattern is supposed to bring it down. In this case, it does. Zoom in, zoom out, you'll see it appear better. So for example, when I bring this over here, you'll see how this does actually send the chart pattern down, okay? And that's what it's supposed to do. See that? See my green crayons with the head, the left shoulder, the right shoulder, and then the breakout going down. And then also, I want to show you this. A lot of times you'll see a double top and a double bottom together. A lot of times you'll see the head and shoulders and the reverse head and shoulders together. What do I mean by that? For example, if you look over here on the left side, right here, let me circle this for you. Here's your reverse head, and then here's your left shoulder. And then again, this right shoulder shares the shoulder with the other head and shoulders. And then here's your neckline. In this case, the neckline, you don't see a breakout, but it's just they are inverses of each other and one counters the other, okay? Yeah, there's a little bit with that. And again, we're looking at Tesla right now on TradingView if you're watching from home, because they just announced that big Terafab deal, and there's an announcement coming up that they might even announce the SpaceX IPO as early as this week, okay? So we're just taking a look right here at Tesla on TradingView for some of those reasons right there. And again, if you change your timing and adjustments, you will see the different chart patterns emerge. And let's see, again, some of these smaller ones, for example, right here, you'll see a smaller, here's your head, here's your left shoulder, and bang, there's your neckline. But you wouldn't see that unless you kind of adjust the timing a little bit. Dun, dun, dun. See what, spread it out, zoom in, zoom out, and you can see it better. Also, if you go here, the same thing, right here, bum, bum, bum. Here's your head, left shoulder, right shoulder, and again, there you go. But sometimes you have to be creative, have to have the right eye for it. It does take some practice. And then, for example, here, if you bring this one down, let's see. Some of these are actually pretty tricky. But here, this looks to me like a double bottom. You see how it comes down to the same point right there? Basically, you see the double bottom, and then it breaks out. It'll break out and go up, just like that. And double bottoms also have a neckline too. Here's your neckline, and it breaks out and goes up, just like it's supposed to. Yeah. So again, doing some chart patterns on Tesla. If you have more questions about chart patterns, or you want to see more chart patterns, just simply send me a message. My WhatsApp number is right behind me if you want. And if you have more questions about the indicators that we didn't cover, you can also ask questions about that. But having said that, let's kind of move on a little bit. There are more chart patterns, but we've got other things to look at. Again, some charts have more double tops and double bottoms. Some charts have more head and shoulders. This one seems to have a lot of head and shoulders, as you can start to pick up here. There's that. There's your neckline. And then, yeah, sometimes they're fun, actually. If you think chart patterns are fun, let me know. Put a smiley face in the comments. For example, what's up with silver? Yes, I know what you mean. Silver and gold actually just jumped up a little bit. Was it yesterday? Let me see. Actually, Stumblefish, the headline, if I can get that for you right here, I saw that too. Now, where is it? Yeah, for example, yeah, gold snapped its 9-day losing streak, basically on the hopes that there might be de-escalation from the war, and bullion rose 1.7%, and silver jumped up too. But I suck with charts, but I like silver. Stumblefish, I love it. Yes, the charts do take some practice, good humor. I love silver too. If you enjoy silver, I share your same sentiment. But it's, for example, let me grab the update here. Why did silver go up yesterday? Because I saw that it did. Yeah, for example, silver prices rose what was it, yesterday and today, driven by the heightened geopolitical tensions. But for example, there's more to it than that. There's also industrial demand. Let's see. There's industrial demand. For example, Stumblefish. Remember that silver is also used in the electronics for everything that's going over in the Middle East. You know, every time there's a explosion in the Middle East, that's more silver. Your phone, your solar panels. Actually, one of the stories I had yesterday was about Solar Edge. Ticker is SEDG. Solar Edge just jumped up 13% this past Friday because there's more demand for energy and stuff in Europe as well. So solar panels have silver in them as well. And even though silver is getting hammered right now, I would watch that. I would watch for a rebound on that. But I share your same sentiments. If you want more, okay. But when's it? When's it breaking up? I tell you what. That's a good question, and I like it. On this educational platform, the algorithm, if I answer that question, it'll pick it up as you know, a certain sales or recommendation. But if you send me a message, I can give you a lot more of the analysis privately off the live stream, which is the best way. Because if I do it during the live stream, it'll get picked up and it'll ding and restrict the channel and stuff like that. But it's a good question. No problem with that. Love to help you more. Just send me a message. For example, no, but if, for example, egg I9E, if you want more information about either Bitcoin or Solana, again, send me a message on that. Right now we're doing some of the tickers. So if you have a ticker, let me know. I can go through it. But if you want more in-depth information about Bitcoin or Solana, just send me a message. I can get that back to you. Okay. So hopefully that helps. But yeah. I share your sentiments about silver, and when message me and we can talk more about that. But yeah, going back here, what was the one I was looking at? Where was it? Yeah, there's Tesla. Is one I'm wondering about. Okay, Mark J207, BBAI. Let me look up that one. BBAI. Oh. Big Bear. Okay, let's do that one. Okay, 1 second here. Okay. Hold on, let me adjust my charts here. Okay. And for those who may not be aware, Big Bear Holdings engages in the data-driven decision dominance and advanced analytics that provide its customers with competitive advantage in a world driven by data that's in growing terms. Yes, here's Big Bear. Okay, breaking down some of the analysis on this. No problem, Egg. Doing what I can for you. Mark, here's one. This is Big Bear. For example, if you look right here, let's see. Have I missed any comments over here? Okay, right here. Boom. Looking at the RSI right now, you notice it's at 36, but also you notice that recently, not so recently actually, it was back in September, it was way overbought, and you can see that right here in the price chart. It jumps up actually right here September, October, yeah, right there, September, and then October as well, and right here. And then ever since that big spike in October, it's been charting downward ever since, as you can see in the charts and also in the RSI. And with that, you'll see there's less trading volume. See the trade volume bars right there. It's right there going down. Let's see, retired FTO, greetings and welcome. Right now we're looking at Big Bear on TradingView for those of you watching from home, just breaking it down a little bit. And also, let me give you some chart patterns right here as well. For example, when it starts going down, this is actually, here's your head, and here's your left shoulder, here's your right shoulder, and then there's your neckline breakout. And the same thing. Let me see what happened over here. Let me see if I adjust my timing a little bit. Yeah, here's one thing I want to show you. When you adjust your timing and zoom in and zoom out, like right here, let's see, Mark, I think it was you. I'll put an arrow right here. Here's your double bottom, and then you see it does go up a little bit in the chart pattern. That's when you can see right there. And then also, if I break this down a little bit, again, sometimes they don't break out. Like for example, here's your double bottom, and it doesn't really break out much. And then I'm new. I buy and hold. Is this day trade? Mark, greetings and welcome. No problem to be new. This is an educational channel. So, for example, if you have questions about chart patterns, indicators, earnings, revenue, stuff like that, when we break stuff down, or about certain companies that you're looking at. And for example, if you would want more specific information, that's where I can follow up with you. Just send me a message and let me know if there's certain things that you are looking at right now, or certain things that you're that's in your strategy. Send me a message and we can talk more specifically about that. Because again, on this algorithm, there's only certain things I can say and can show that I can provide a lot more in a message off the live stream. But yeah, good questions, Mark. Yeah, and then here we go. Right here, let me change this again. Going through some of the basics here with Big Bear. Now let's take a look. You asked me about Big Bear. Let's also go over here to some of the, right now the trade volume is 25.8 million. Market cap is at 1.69 billion. And if we go over here to earnings right here, let's see, Drewski, greetings and welcome to the channel where we talk about everything U.S. markets, U.S. headlines. We just had a request for Big Bear, so I'm breaking it down here in TradingView. There's quarterly, there's annually for the earnings wise. And so right here on Q4, you'll see the blue part is what was actually recorded, and the gray part is what Wall Street actually predicted. So the idea is when they earn more than they predict, it makes the company look stronger. So Q4, you see it's less negative than it was supposed to be. So that actually means it's a positive report and looks stronger. Q3 also less negative than it was supposed to be. Stephen Priest, greetings and hello. Welcome to the channel. We're breaking down Big Bear on TradingView. Everything U.S. markets, U.S. headlines. If you have a question about a company, just drop it in the comments. But Q2 actually was very, very bad for earnings, far more negative than it was supposed to be. But overall, annually, okay, again, 2025, even though it was negative, it was less negative than predicted. So that's a stronger than expected earnings report. 2024, worse than expected earnings report. And 2023, also worse than expected earnings report. So for Big Bear, let's see how these earnings reports correlate to their revenues, their profits, and their income, okay? And again, Alexander, greetings and welcome. If you, let's see, the MSI has been a long-term favorite of mine. IRV, okay, well, let's do that. Let me write that down here. It's MSI. We'll do that one next, okay? IRV, got it. Now let's look here at statements, go here to annual. And okay, 2025 was terrible for revenue and profit. Let's see which, look here at this. Yeah, so right here, 2025, this is what's interesting, because if you're looking here at the earnings, 2025 was the only year that had a good earnings that beat expectations. The other years were far more negative, but look at this, 2025, again, for the person asked about Big Bear, Big Bear 2025, even though it had a good earnings report, the total revenue, gross profit, operating income was all negative. The only thing that was positive was the net income. Also, 2023 actually looked much better than the other years. Everything was good, revenue, operating income, and net income. The only thing that was negative was the gross profit. Again, so it's just interesting how that works out. Again, I would always look at all the information as much as you can, break it all down, and then keep looking, okay? So that's Big Bear. Where is it? Whoever asked Mark, since you asked about that, hopefully that was helpful. And if you want more information, just feel free to send me a message. Yeah, no problem, Mark. Again, if there's other companies or further information, whatever strategy you're into, I'm glad to help you more if you want. Let's see, MSI, done. Oh yeah, Motorola Solutions. Why not? Let's do it. Okay. Okay, now we're looking at Motorola Solutions. For those of you who may not be up to date, Motorola Solutions engages in the provision of communication infrastructure, devices, accessories, software, and services. Yeah, integration of software and services segments. The products and systems integration includes portfolio, infrastructure, devices, accessories, and video securities, etc. Now, again, let's break this one down a little bit. Let me adjust the charts here to be able to see them better. Bum, bum, bum. And then, okay, here, oh, sorry. Let me, okay. And then bring this down a little bit. Yes, okay, there we go. That looks a little bit, you see when you adjust the charts to a certain size and dimension, you can see the chart patterns jump out easier. If you're at home on TradingView and it's hard to see some of the chart patterns, just adjust some of the sizes, zoom in and zoom out. And again, if you also have questions about how to get the readings that you were looking for or patterns that you want on TradingView, again, you can send me a WhatsApp and I can give you more information on that. No problem for that. That's my WhatsApp number right behind me. And then right here, RSI for MSI is sitting here. Motorola Solutions, very, very neutral at 49. Remember we talked about between 55 and 45, even a little bit more than that is pretty neutral. But right here you can see it just came off for being overbought. That's why I say use the RSI as just a guide, because it is. This thing goes way overbought and way oversold. Again, 70 and 30 is just a guide. So when it went up all the way up to 85 before market correcting and coming back down, you see right here, bang, the chart pattern goes up, and then right here is it. It peaked out there at about 488 before coming down here. Now it's at what, 454. Yeah, so okay, right here we're super neutral, and you'll see that in the right here. Also, look at the when we're neutral like this, you will also see the similarities in the MACD as well. Let me give you some chart patterns right here. Okay, hold on one second. Let me break this down. There we go. Adjust the timing on that. Zoom in, zoom out. Now, what you see right here, when you adjust this, you can see the patterns better. Here's your reverse head, here's your left shoulder, here's your right shoulder. And again, now you can see the pattern as to why it went up. So I'll adjust this. You see that reverse head and shoulder, and then the neckline. And I'll even draw my arrow for you. For the person that asked about, where is it? MSI, yeah, IRV P78. Here's your breakout for MSI right there. And you can see the chart pattern really just go up from there. You can see that. And then if you adjust your timing, you'll see some of the smaller adjustments along the way. Like right here, zoom in, and you'll see some of those smaller, where the market corrects and it keeps going up. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. And then zoom out, okay, and see what else we can find along the way. Aha, okay, look at this. Right here again, that's why I say always adjust your timing. You see this, the big one that shows up right here? This is a nice head and shoulders. It really kind of breaks out pretty good. Right here, here's your head, as you can see right here, and then let's see. Here's two big shoulders right here, head and shoulders. Yes, here's your neckline breakout. Again, Katie saying, NVIDIA touched me without. I love the humor. Thanks, Katie. Touch me without good sense. Yeah. So, how are you liking NVIDIA right now? How's NVIDIA feeling? Let me know. Is that are you feeling good or bad about NVIDIA? Anyway, for Motorola, the person who is it? Motorola, Irvin. Hopefully, this information is helping. There's a couple chart patterns with Motorola. Give you a couple more as I see them coming up. Let's see. Let me adjust this. Yeah, here's another one. Here's your. This one actually does break out pretty good. Here's your head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Here's your neckline breakout and going down. And let's see. Here you are. Yeah, that's enough with chart patterns. Again, if you want more chart patterns on MSI. Who is it? Where is it? Yeah, Irvin, if you want more chart patterns on MSI, just message me and ask. But let's move on here. I'll show you some of the earnings as well. Earnings right now is down. As you can see, there's less trade volume because there's less price action. So right now the volume is at 1.13 million. Market cap is at 75 billion. And right here, again, we're looking at Motorola Solutions on TradingView. If you have other tickers or other questions, let me know. Quarterly and annually. Irvin, thank you. Yes, good. Irvin, definitely a good shampoo. Yes, somebody asked me the other day, is this a shampoo commercial? I don't make the names for these chart patterns. That just is what it is. But Irv, thanks for the sense of humor. Yeah, good stuff. Quarterly, as you can see, looking here at the blue bars, Irvin, Q4, Q3, Q2, they all beat the earnings expectations. Annually, let's see, 2025, yes. 2024, yes. 2023, yes. So Irving, your MSI is looking strong for earnings. Now let's see how that correlates with the profits, the revenues, and the income, shall we? Because it doesn't always. But yeah, see, in this case, it's not, it beats the earnings, but still, look at December, or look at 2024, had negative pre-tax income and negative net income. However, the other years were all green. 2023, revenue, profit, income was all good. 2025, revenue, profit, income was all green as well. So there you are, Irvin. In this case, the earnings and the profits kind of basically correlate along with the revenue. Yeah. Again, if you want the forecast for entertainment purposes, here is the forecast, but I don't put too much stock into this. But here's some analysts looking at Motorola, giving their opinions. How they get their opinions, I'm not sure, but here's some entertainment for you. There's the rating. Jem Som, thank you for the likes. For those of you liking and commenting and sharing your thoughts, I'm not an algorithm expert, but I've been told that, yeah, that does help the channel get bigger and stronger. We're building basically a like-minded community of people that are interested in the same things, and that helps build the channel, like likes, shares, comments. So thank you very much for that. Yeah, good stuff, man. And as I'm going through this pretty fast, if you have more in-depth questions about whatever you're doing, companies you're looking at, etc., or different indicators, you can feel free to send me a WhatsApp. That's the number right behind me, if you want, if you're comfortable with that. And then let's go on here. Any more tickers, just let me know. Any more thoughts about gold and silver? Because I love gold and silver, just let me know. We talked about Total Energies. We talked about Terafab with Musk. We talked about gold a little bit. Because and let's also, oh yes, for the people interested in gold and silver, check this out. For example, gold and silver just jumped up a little bit, right? Because there was talks about de-escalating the war. And so let's look at this. I want to show you this. Freeport McMoran is one of the bigger miners. So for example, not only, let me bring this down a little bit here. Adjust this. Okay, yeah. Sometimes these things can be complicated and annoying. But yeah, if you have questions about how to adjust TradingView as well, if it's your first time on TradingView or something, feel free to ask. I can get you more information about that. But I wanted to show you this. As the metals rise, so do the mining stocks. For example, what do I mean? See, this is the candle for yesterday. Again, someone asked me, what does the red and the green mean? Well, basically, to put it in simple terms, green is positive, red is negative. The chart goes up on green, the chart goes down on red. But here you'll see right here, this is Freeport McMoran. It's one of the bigger mining companies. And again, it was going down, and then yesterday there was talk about de-escalation of the war. So the metals go up, and so do the miners right there. So I'm showing you. And then also right here, that's, yeah, you can see also in the RSI, the RSI goes up right along with the price index, the chart pattern there. So again, Joe Rich, greetings and welcome. everything U.S. markets and headlines. If you're looking at the metals and you're wondering how the metals correspond with the miners, they're kind of all similar in it together. The better the metals do, the better the miners do. When the metals take a hit, so do the miners. That's Freeport McMoran. Good question. For example, my my thoughts on that would be tangible, because basically I think there's more paper out there than there is actually real tangible stuff. So and especially now that gold and silver, the physical stuff is actually people are they're actually calling for it. In the past, they never actually called up for the physical stuff, but nowadays they are. So there's headlines about how the COMEX is being drained, the LBMA is being drained. Again, I've never actually been there, but that's some of the things that I've heard about. And if, for example, now silver is even categorized as a critical mineral. I don't know if you heard that, but was it 1 or 2 months ago? They just updated that both in the U.S. and in Asia. Let's see, F-Ball Planet. Yes, doing good, F-Ball Planet. Thanks, saying hello. But yeah, Irvin, definitely, I think the tangible stuff is the way to go for the future, especially with the tangible stuff being used in the future with the BRICS nations. I believe their currency of the future is called the unit, and they're already building the ways that they're going to use the unit in the future. If you want more information on the BRICS or the unit, feel free to send me a message. And if you want more information on why I prefer the physical instead of the paper, I can go more in depth into that. But good question, I like it. Yeah. And greetings. Yes. Okay, so here we go. Freeport McMoran, just to show you that. Also, another one I'll show you is Hecla. Hecla is another big one. It's another big miner. And let's see. Also, here, if you look at this one, I'll zoom in on this. You can see right here, this is Hecla. Hecla is also a big miner. You see the green candles right here. They just jumped up. And you see right down here on the RSI, the RSI also came up. So it market corrected based on the news that there might be a de-escalation of the war as well. That's some of the miners. How many years? Football Planet. How many years does it take to be profitable? That's the wrong question to be asking. The question to be asking is how fast are you going to learn, and how quickly are you going to learn, and how much dedication do you have for it? Because it's like everything else. It's not about how's it going to work. It's going to be how much time are you willing to put into it. So here's what I can do. For example, if you send me a message, I can also offer you some educational materials. If you're asking about becoming more profitable, the best way to be more profitable is to learn more. Okay, as a beginner, you want to learn more. Whatever it is, whether it's chart patterns, whether it's different sectors, you also have to know which sector you want to get into, things like that. If it's healthcare, if it's tech, if it's transportation, etc. What sectors really do you have an affinity for? So send me a message and let me know what you're thinking about, and I can give you more information on that and hopefully help you on your journey. Okay, good. I'll send you a message. Okay, good. Looking forward to it. Yeah, sounds good. Let me also know, since you said you're a software engineer, I'm curious which programming languages you've focused on. Yeah, so let me know. Thanks for the message. And okay, here we go. Here's also Hecla mining. I'm showing you how the miners also correlate with the actual physical price. And let's see, what's another one I can do? Glencore. Glencore is another big one. Glencore right there. Dun, dun, dun. Wait, where's my Glencore? Hold on, not Glencore, but USA. Yeah. Oh yeah, US rare earth is another one. For example, if you look right here, US rare earth is one that actually, it's the here it is. It's a US rare earth is a domestic supplier of rare earth magnets and heavy rare earth elements. It's actually one that the current administration has invested in, for better or for worse, I'm not sure, but it's another one that to be looked at. Okay, so how do you select your miners? What basis and information is most useful to you? I have Wheaton, Barrick. Oh yeah, got it. Penner and others, and they will vary. What's your no? Very good question. Again, fantastic. I like it. Again, send me a message and I can go more in depth on that. That's something I can't really answer on this channel for the reasons of the algorithm. But very good question. It is well taken. Irvin, I'm sorry I can't go more in depth. I know you want a better answer than that, but send me a message and we'll definitely get into it. I'm an embedded systems engineer, coding mostly using yes, C and C++. The object, there is the C and then there's the object-oriented C. Yes, football. I'm a little bit familiar with those, so good stuff. I'm glad that you're enjoying that. Looking forward to hearing from you as well. So yeah, thank you very much. Let's go on here. Here's the rare earths, and we talked a little bit about the metals, mining stocks. Now also, another one we're going to get into is Amazon. Why? Because they're also big in the news right now. Give me one moment. Okay, so for example, Amazon has Zoox. What is Zoox? These are the little toaster-shaped robo-taxis. Wherever you are, do they have robo-taxis in your neighborhood, and do they have Zoox? Because Zoox is preparing to launch its robo-taxis in Austin and Miami later this year. Just to give you a little background, Zoox will soon deploy its toaster oven-shaped robo-taxis, which have no steering wheel or pedals for testing in both cities. And the trips will be mainly right now for employees and friends before they launch their Explorer program. And to give you a little backstory about Zoox, Amazon acquired Zoox in 2020 and started in Vegas and San Francisco as of late March. It has served 350,000 rides and over 500,000 have joined the wait list. And Zoox, again, here's the little Zoox robotaxi, is racing to catch up to Alphabet's Waymo. Waymo is the US robotaxi leader, and Waymo currently offers 400,000 paid rides per week across 6 US metro areas. It's also aiming to expand service into London and Tokyo later this year. Let's see, we'll do, but if you could please slide your WhatsApp into frame, less or ineligible. Oh, sorry, let's see. Let's see. Hold on. It's not. Is it in frame now? Let me know if that's better. Dun, dun, dun. Irvin, let's see. Thanks for telling me. There we go. Is that better? I think so. Let me know. Give me a smiley face if it's better now, Irvin. Thank you to my audience. Yes. Dun, dun. There you go. Yeah, smiley face if it's all good, Irvin. And it's okay. One of the biggest hurdles for cool. One of the biggest hurdles for Zoox is launching a paid service and producing enough robo-taxis to meet demand. Zoox has made a partnership with Uber this month, partly for that reason. Yeah. So again, who would have known, right? Let's see. Football, yes, cool. I'm also a coding fan as well. I had some experience with that back in the day. So good job to you. I know some of the pain that you've gone through. Yeah, so that's Amazon and this is Zoox. Let me know if wherever you are, if there are robo-taxis in your neighborhood, or if you've ever tried one or gotten on one, and if you liked it or didn't like it. There you go. And let's see. Okay, so let's take a look here at Amazon. Another thing that Amazon is in the news for right now is they just acquired, where is it right here? Yeah, Amazon also acquired approachable humanoid maker called Fauna Robotics. So if a robot comes up to you and says hello and is very approachable, what do you do? I'm curious what they mean by approachable in this thing. But yeah, so Fauna is a startup building humanoid robots. They got founded in 2024 by, listen to this, Fauna was founded by former Meta and a Google engineers, and they launched Sprout. What is Sprout? Sprout is their $50,000 bipedal robot. It stands about 3 feet 6 inches tall and weighs about 50 pounds, and it is designed to be friendly. Hi, friendly robot. How are you? I just bought Robo, and oh, cool. Dun dun dun. Anyway, got it. Thanks for sharing that. And yeah, it's designed to be friendly. So Fauna's got 50 employees and will join Amazon in New York. And also, again, this coincides with, you've heard about, 1 second here. Okay, you've heard about how Tesla is also developing its like Optimum robots as well. So we got AI races, we got robo-taxi races, we got humanoid robot races, we got all kinds of races going on. So if you've ever seen a robot in your neighborhood, also let me know about that. Or if you've got, Amazon is also trying to do the drone delivery system. If you've got drone deliveries in your neighborhood, put a smiley face in the comments for me. So yeah, there's that. So there's, Amazon is doing a lot. So let's take a look at Amazon right now. Amazon. Okay, here we go. Dun dun dun. Amazon. Here we go. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. Let me adjust this so it's easier to see. Here, and bring this up. Again, when you would zoom in and zoom out, you'll be able to see things better. Right here, Amazon RSI sitting here at super neutral 44. And as you can see, the RSI, relative strength index, has been very, very neutral since about March 2nd. Yeah, almost the whole month. Yeah. 1 second here. Okay. Yeah, so here we are looking at Amazon. And you'll see, why do I always look at the relative strength index? Because it correlates very well with the chart pattern. Again, if you want to see an example of consolidation, here's kind of your invisible floor, invisible ceiling right there, the chart pattern. Yes, and again, you can call it consolidation, continuation. There's the ceiling, there's the floor, resistance, support. And also notice the MACD when this happens as well. See the MACD? Look at the MACD at the same time, because you'll learn how to read the MACD a little bit better that way. And again, if you're curious about more about the MACD or the indicator, the relative strength index, again, that's something I can talk to you about. Just send me a direct message and that'll be fine. Also, here, zoom out of this. Here's, and if you're wondering, okay, what causes, what chart pattern just caused this? This looks almost like, here we go. If you zoom out and change the timing, here's reverse head, left shoulder, right shoulder, then here's the neckline. You notice that it doesn't break out, but it is still the chart pattern just the same. Now bring this down a bit and bring this over here. Okay, now right here, dun dun dun, you'll see here's your double top right here. You notice they hit the same, oh watch this, I'll put an arrow for you so you can see what I mean. Right here, dun dun dun, there's your arrow. If you see my arrow, that means they come up and touch the same point. That's your double top. When they come up at double top and touch the same point, then it's gonna go down. See here the chart pattern, boom, and then right here, bang, it does break the neckline and goes down. So double top, bang, it goes down. And this is Amazon, and right over here, sorry, let me give you some more chart patterns that jump out. Right here. Okay. Let me see this. Here we go. Yes. Again, you zoom out a little bit, you'll see this. You see how they come down to almost exactly the same point right here. Look at that. So basically that's a double bottom and double bottom right here. And as you can see, bang, it does break out and go up. So there's your double bottom, breakout and going up. And then let's see over here. Again, sometimes you have to be creative with these head and shoulders and the necklines because you'll see right here, dun, 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 here's your head, here's your left shoulder, here's your right shoulder, and here's your neckline. And then right here is your breakout. So again, zoom in, zoom out, change the timing a bit. You'll see the patterns more. There's your breakout and it goes down. Yeah. for example. And if you have more thoughts or questions about what we're talking about with chart patterns or what we talked about with the metals, that kind of stuff, feel free to let me know. It's always actually quite interesting to hear from you guys. So here's another one that just jumps out really quickly and easily. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder, bang. And then you can see here is the kaboom. There's the drop right there. Head, shoulders, and drop right there. All right, and okay, that's enough chart patterns on Amazon. Let's go do some earnings and fundamentals, okay? And right here, again, I'll show you when there is more price action, like up here, the price chart, you see more trade volume right there, shown by the arrows, right? And then right here, dun, 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 here's there's not much price action here, so there's not much trade volume there, okay? Now, right here, dun, 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 volume right now is at 35.3 million, and then market cap is at 2.2 trillion. And all right, so here we go. Earnings. Again, you have quarterly and annually. Look at them both, but generally the annual one is what you're looking for, probably for your strategy, but maybe not. Let me know what your strategy is and we can talk more about it. Kim Trag, hello, greetings, welcome. And if you, let's see, quarterly, yeah, Q4, as you can see, just missed earnings expectations. The blue part is what they actually earned. The gray part is the expectations from Wall Street. And Q3, Q2, they obviously beat the earnings expectations. Annually for the year 2025, you can see it beat it. 2024 also it beat it. 2023 also. So to summarize, that's why annually is sometimes more beneficial. Even though you had a couple bad quarters, year over year, 2025, 2024, 2023, the last 3 years beat the earnings expectations. So you could summarize it that way. And then let's see how the earnings correlate with the profits and revenues and income. Again, as you've seen before with some of the other companies I've broken down, just because you have good earnings doesn't mean you're going to have a good profit or a good revenue. But in this case, it does correlate. You can see with Amazon the last 3 years, 2023, 2024, and 2025, it's all green all the way down for revenue and profit income, looking good. Again, you'll see that here, the earnings last 3 years were great, and that was Amazon. Again, if you want the forecast, I'll give it to you, but I use it mainly just for fun, for entertainment. Here's some entertainment for you, the forecast. They're looking at Amazon as a good buy, but I would take that with a bucket of salt, not a grain of salt, a bucket of salt. And now let's take a look here at ARM, yes. Here's one for you. This is an interesting one. Where is it? Here's it. ARM is going to sell its own chips after eyeing sales goal of 15 billion. And what? Where is it? Where's my what? Hold on one second. ARM. Yes. So what is ARM? Just to give you an idea, ARM Holdings is a leading British semiconductor and software design company that creates central processing units, CPUs, cores and architecture, rather than manufacturing physical chips themselves. Now, their highly energy efficient technology dominates the smartphone and tablet market, powering companies like Apple, Samsung, and Qualcomm. And it's increasingly used in AI, cloud computing, and automotive industries. Nearly all modern smartphones contain ARM-based designs as of 2026, and the company is expanding into its own AI CPUs with customers like Meta. Okay, so there we go. A little bit about it. It was founded in 1920 in England, and it was later acquired by Software in 2016. So there we go. Let's take a look here at ARM. The update about ARM, which made its name licensing technology to some semiconductor makers, will begin selling its own chips for the first time. And it will now start selling 15 billion over 5 years. And from some of the big customers, Meta is one of the major customers, as ARM shares just jumped up 7.8%, and they're up 23% this year. So that's a little bit about ARM. Interesting, right? So let's take a look at them. one second here. ARM. Interesting name, right? All right, here we go. 740. Okay, let me adjust this a little bit, bring this down. Okay, now this is ARM, and again, just if you're just now jumping on, a little bit about them. Let's see, they're going to be making their own chips. Right here, the RSI is sitting at right here at about 64. Now, why is that important? Because right here, they just jumped up, as you can see, and they've already market corrected a little bit, and you can see that correction in the RSI right here. Okay, now let's adjust this a little bit more. Okay, bring this over here. Now, what did I tell you about how they can be overbought for a long time and oversold for a long time before they market correct? Look at this one. ARM was down here way oversold at like 24, 23, actually for for a while, until it finally corrected and came back up. So bear that in mind. And let's see, right here on ARM, if you're looking here, how they both come down right here to about the same point. Here's your double bottom, and then bang, it comes back up. Again, the double bottom is your chart pattern for it to go up right there, okay? And Jim Som, greeting, thanks for the likes. Yes, for everyone that's watching, if you are enjoying this, if you like the content and the humor and the fun that you're learning along the way, put a smiley face. There you go. Put a smiley face in the comments and let me know that you're enjoying this. And if there's something that you want to see, or if there's a ticker that you want me to analyze, just drop that in the comments as well. We're doing everything U.S. markets, U.S. headlines, and we're analyzing some of the major companies in those headlines, okay? And if you adjust the timing, here's one. If you adjust the timing, spread this out. Again, right there, here's the big one. Here's your head, here's your left shoulder, here's your right shoulder, and bang, look at that. Nice head and shoulders, jumps out, goes down. Okay, let's do, let's do another one right here. Bum, bum, bum. Irvin, yes, thank you very much for the smiley face. Appreciate that. Done. Here we go. All right, now, if you look down here, again, it's all about the timing and zooming in, zooming out to be creative with these darn things. You gotta have an eye for this stuff. Here's your reverse head. A little diagonal neckline here. Again, this guy is not square. And then, but this one does have a good breakout. Bang, right there. Bum, bum, bum. Please pan back a bit for, okay, pan back, okay. So if you're wanting the bigger screen view of this chart, there's your screen view right there. Again, this is ARM, and if you zoom out, there you go, right there. Hope that's what you mean, Irvin, right there. So there's the screen view of that chart. Let's see, yeah, and then again, when you zoom in and zoom out, you will get a better idea for some of the chart patterns that do emerge. For example, let's see here, if you zoom in on this, when you show the phone number, when you show the okay, I'm sorry, you move it. Let's see, I'll move it back. Is that what you mean? Pan back for screen view. Sorry, I think I know what you mean. Let me know if that helps. I just moved it back a little bit. Okay, good stuff. Glad you can see things better now. Always nice to get help from the audience. Dun, dun, dun. And then let's see. Here's your head, and then left shoulder, right shoulder. Dun, dun, dun. And then bang, this one does, let's see, break out and go down right here. Here we go. And then, yeah, it's okay. So that's ARM Holdings. And okay, again, some basic chart patterns. If you want more information about the chart patterns Or again, you got the MACD, you've got the relative strength index. If you want to know more about how those correlate with the charts or where they come from, just send me a message. Again, there's my WhatsApp right behind me. You can contact me there and ask. Just tell me which information you want. Is it the chart patterns, indicators, or all of it? If you're just getting started and don't know where to start, also let me know what things you're interested in, and I can give you some educational materials on that as well. Just a note here before we go on to the earnings and fundamentals, you'll see here again you have these trade volume bars. There's more trading volume again right here when there's more price action. You see the price action happening in the price chart. You'll notice that in the trade volume bars there. So right now the trade volume is sitting at 11.04 million. Market cap is at 143 billion, and then earnings. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, so quarterly, again, there's quarterly, there's annually for ARM Holdings quarterly. Looking at the blue part is what they recorded. All of it beat the expectations. The expectations is the gray part. And let's see, annually, yes, 2024 beat expectations, so 2023 actually. So let's take a look how the earnings correlates with the revenue, the price, and the income. Revenue, profit, and income. There we go. So 2024, 2023. Curiously enough, okay, here's 2024. 2024 beat expectations, so 2023. But 2024, as you can see, the earnings, profit, income looks a lot better in 2024 than it does in 2023. Even though both years had good earnings records. You can see here 2023 operating income and pre-tax and net income were both negative, all three negative. Only thing that was good in 2023 was total revenue and gross profit. Again, you have to look at everything. Oh yes, good question actually. Danny boy, a lovely question. What I can do with that, for example, let's do it. I know why you're asking that question, and it's a good one indeed. And Microsoft has been in the headlines lately. Let's take a look at them. What I can do, Danny boy, is it's a cool name. I'm gonna break this down for you here on TradingView, and then because this is an educational channel, not a sales channel, I can't give you my personal thoughts or ideas directly on the live stream. But if you send me a message, we can go into that more depth as far as my personal thoughts as you asked about. Send me a message and I can give you more in depth about that. What I can do on the live stream is just break it down for you here. I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but that's the best I can do for you. I hope you understand. That's just the reality of the algorithm. So let's do this. Here's Microsoft. Right now, as you can see, for example, Microsoft is actually, for the past year, it's already dropped 5%. Actually, Meta is also down 4% this year. Alphabet has jumped up 73% this year. But yeah, so here we go. Right now, the RSI relative strength index is sitting here at 30. Again, it's been hovering around oversold for a while now. And as you can see, the chart is not doing so. Let me and zoom out and zoom in. Yes. So right there, as you can see, the chart isn't looking that great. Let me see if I can get you some chart patterns real quick on this. Zoom out, zoom in. Yeah, for example, even when you zoom out, zoom in and break this down, you'll see there is talk. It could pass 320. Yeah, I know what you mean. Actually, again, I like the question. Send me a message and let's go more in depth on that. I'm sorry I can't do more than that here on the live stream, but that's just the rules of how the algorithm plays it. But yeah, I'm familiar with what you mean. Again, here's the reverse head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Here's that small little breakout, and then zoom out right there, and then go up some here, and then go right in here. Again, you'll have a lot of reverse head and shoulders, and some of them don't break out. I'm gonna try to get you a fun one that does break out. Oh yeah, here we go. again, zooming out and zooming in really helps a lot. Here's your head, here's your left shoulder, here's your right shoulder, here's your neckline, and as you can see on this one, it does break out and go down right here. There you go. As currently head to delete. Yes, thank you for sharing that, Danny boy. Yeah, I look forward to talking with you, and thanks for sharing what you're doing right now. Is going to ownership of your team and their other entities will keep them on top decades to come, hopefully. Ah, yes, Irvin, good thoughts, good thoughts. Yeah, good. Appreciate you sharing that. And yeah, I don't disagree with you. Interesting insights. Every company has its strengths and weaknesses, basically overall. Thanks for making the community strong and sharing your thoughts and ideas, guys. It really does. It's nice. Okay, here for example, let's zoom in and zoom out. You have another. Again, some of these head and shoulders have strange necklines, but here they are. Here's your head, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then kind of a diagonal neckline, and then it does go down a little bit there. Let me get you a better one here. Zoom out right here. Again, here they come down to about the same place. Here's your double bottom, and then bang, it does go up right there. Yes. Yeah. Let's see, Danny boy. Are there any other tickers you're looking at? Google and so on. Yeah. Okay. And then, okay, there's a couple chart patterns for Microsoft. Let's go back here to, and before we get into the earnings, let me just show you some of the trade volume, because trade volume is higher definitely when there is more price action. Right now, there's less price action, less trade volume. Yeah, if you're just a little update here on TradingView, for example, Bank of America resumed Microsoft coverage and upgraded to a buy with a $500 target, citing cloud and enterprise AI growth. Again, that's just information. It's important to do your own diligence. And if you message me, I'll be able to share my own thoughts with you about that as well. So hopefully, looking forward to a conversation on that. Volume right now is at 42.7 million. Market cap is at 2.7 trillion. And again, the earnings right here, again, you have the quarterly, the annual, of course. Right now, the quarterly definitely beat the expectations, as you can see. Let's see. Yes, okay, cool. Thank you. And annually, let's see, the last 3 years, 2025, 2024, 2023. Okay, so to summarize, the last 3 years all beat earnings expectations year over year, except for 2024. That was a year they just missed their earnings expectations for Microsoft. Even in 2025, they beat it. Let's see how that pans out in the profits and income and revenue. So right here, actually, interesting. So you can see right here, looking at TradingView for Microsoft, 2023, 2024, and 2025, revenue, profit, income, pre-tax income, net income was all positive, all green, except for 2023's net income that was red and that was negative. But interesting, so hopefully that information is a little bit helpful. Again, we'll go more in depth in a private conversation as we can. And if you want, here's the forecast. Again, this is just, again, pure entertainment, but if you want it, here it is. Here's the forecast given from these so-called experts on Wall Street, these analysts, giving their forecast for the next year. Yeah, there it is. So that's Microsoft. Another one that we can do, we talked about ARM, Amazon. Also, remember, in the news, you have SpaceX might even file for an IPO as soon as this week. Just a headline about them. And also, Meta is another one that's not doing as good as maybe some people would want it to. They just got fined $375 million for violating the New Mexico law for child exploitation. The jury found them guilty. Also, if you're if you're curious or interested in anything with Meta, here it is actually trying to secure more leadership and expertise in their company by, for example, giving leaders stock options, because a lot of them, some of the big leaders are going to different companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, maybe Google, their competition, and they're trying to find ways to keep the best there. That's a little update on Meta. Also, here's one I thought was interesting. Corning, where is it? Where's my Corning? As of March 2026, Corning shares are experiencing a significant rally, surging over 60% year to date, and over 200% in the past year. And this strike is driven by massive AI-driven demand for its fiber optic products, a major $6 billion agreement with Meta, and positive analyst upgrades. That's part of the reasons why. So yeah, one that doesn't really get a lot of attention, but is doing pretty well right now, is Corning. So let's break down Corning. No bueno for Meta. Tisk tisk. Yes, I know what you mean. Love it. Here we go. Corning. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Corning right here. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Here is Corning. Again, just a little update about Corning, because they're not always a name that you hear about much. Engages in the provision of glass for notebook computers, flat panel desktop monitors, display televisions, and other information display applications, carrier networks, and enterprise for telecommunications industry. Okay, and again, they are, as of March 2026, shares have rallied 60%. And over 200% in the last year. And here we go. Right now, the relative strength index is at 56. Again, super neutral. Between 45 and 55, especially that area, is very neutral. Let me actually circle that right here. Very neutral area right here, as you can see. And right here, you see reflection in the price chart. Basically, here's your consolidation, continuation, invisible ceiling, invisible floor, etc. right there. Yeah, and you're always waiting for a catalyst to break that out. But as you can see, let me zoom it, let me change this a little bit. You can see how this thing is doing very well right here. Bang, right there. And then also, again, like I said, the RSI is just a guide. Look how right here it stays overbought for a long time here before it market corrects and comes down, right? A long time right there. So if you look right here, dun, 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 same thing over here. Look at this RSI. This reflects a lot of. Look at this. Look how far it stays overbought right there. RSI, bang! Look at that. And then, so here, if we go right over here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, again, look at this chart. Look at this chart. That's what they're talking about right there. Now, having said that, let's go back here to the beginning, and let me adjust this a little bit right here. Okay. Now let's do this. Okay, here is your here's your head right here, your left shoulder, your right shoulder. Now this one doesn't really break out, as you can see. Like I said, not all. This is not a shampoo commercial, that's right. But not all head and shoulders patterns break out. This one just doesn't. Jem Sam, greetings and thanks for the likes. Yeah, if you let's see, for those who are watching and enjoying the content and learning something, put a smiley face in the comments. If you're still watching and enjoying the program. Dun dun dun. Again, I'm no algorithm expert, no algorithm engineer, but I've been told that it does help. So if you enjoy the channel, that's one way you can help the channel. Let's see. Change the timing on this. You'll see the patterns break out right here. Again, here's your head right here, left shoulder. Here's your right shoulder, and there's your neckline right there. And you can see this one does break out just a little bit right. Let's see, right there. Bang. Not a lot, but a little bit. And that's, for example, that's your, how you can see, watch this. That's your how the market corrects, or how the price chart corrects and keeps going up. If you wonder what those corrections are all about, how it keeps going like that and going up, that's some of the patterns for the corrections. And then also, let's see, let me change this. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Here, this one, you can see some more of these. Here's your yes. Here's your head, left shoulder, right shoulder. This one breaks out a little bit and goes down. Okay, that's enough chart patterns for Corning right now. I just wanted to show you that this company is going up a lot this year, and it doesn't really get a lot of attention. So I wanted to bring it to your attention. That's part of the reason why. That's part of the reason why you watch this channel, is to get news that maybe you wouldn't otherwise get somewhere else. So there's that. Yes, and that being said, dun 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 dun. Yeah. For those of you who enjoyed the channel, if you have questions or comments or need more information, there is my WhatsApp number there. If you want to ask questions about indicators, if you want to ask questions about certain chart patterns or how to use the earnings, how to use the statements, stuff like that, feel free to send me a message. Otherwise, I'll be back later, and looking forward to more tickers and more questions.